Happy Thursday, everybody. It is chamber check-in time from your only five-star accredited chamber in the state of Idaho. And today we get to hear from Adrienne Esposito. She's the AVP branch manager downtown for WaFD Bank. Hi, Adrienne.
Hey, Paul, how's it going?
Good. I am so excited to help share the WaFD Bank story and, more importantly, a little bit about you and your background and what your team's doing. Adrienne, I got to tell the listeners today that we've just been inspired by your community service, by your volunteerism, your leadership. I think you're our vice president of one of our tips groups. You're our vice president of our ambassador program. And it just seemed like this was the perfect way to kind of introduce you to the public through this chamber check-in and help share the WaFD Bank story. And you and I get to work together on a myriad of different things. And congratulations. You just told me that you are a nominee for a Twin Award for this afternoon, which is amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm so honored and blessed. Tonight's orientation, I don't even really know enough about it to speak about it, but I am absolutely blessed and humbled.
All right. Well, you are fully deserving of the recognition, Adrienne. And so, hey, these chamber check-ins are really great ways to share our members' stories, their products, their services, but more importantly, the people. And I want to take this opportunity to help share a little bit about your background first before we dive into the WaFD Bank story. So why don't you start us off, Adrienne? Tell us a little bit about your history of work and what landed you in the financial industry.
Before I was in the financial industry, I worked retail. I actually was managed at full service restaurants. And I have to tell you, if no one's had the opportunity to work in a full service restaurant, boy, does it build character. It is a great job for that. So a lot of nights, a lot of holidays, many weekends, which led me on the trajectory to seek financial banking as my profession and my career. So did that about, I want to say, maybe it's been 10, 12 years ago that I made that transition. So I've been blessed to find WaFD Bank, specifically sought them out after talking to some people in the community, obviously their website and the myriad of amazing things that people had to say and the quality of life that they offered and the community that they embody, the community service so well. It spoke to my heart and I had to apply.
Okay. So are you from Idaho, Adrienne? Where are you from?
No, I originally born in New York, lived there till I was 11 and then Las Vegas. So I'm a transplant, 1996, I believe. Okay. So I think I'm an Idahoan now.
Totally
so pretty close to it. So I've been in Idaho since 1996. And I couldn't see myself living anywhere else. I mean, sometimes I dream about warm, sunny beaches, but boy, Boise has so much to offer, and we're such a great community.
How long have you been with WaFD Bank, and then how long have you been branch manager downtown?
2 years. Well, just going on 2 years. So hired on branch manager and stayed here.
And you are so true about working in a full service restaurant. I too, in high school, worked for a local restaurant where I was a prep cook and dishwasher and all of it, and hosted tables, and actually ended up able to cook a little bit on the cook line towards the end of the night. And you really learn a lot of skill sets. And I'm glad you shared that with me because there's another commonality that we have.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, it teaches you humility and it teaches you patience for sure.
Oh, yeah. I was back in the days when there was a smoking and a non-smoking section.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. Yes. I couldn't imagine that now, but I do remember that.
Anyway, okay, let's talk a little bit about WaFD Bank. Now, WaFD Bank, as you mentioned, is a huge community bank here in the region. Walk us through, as best you can, the origin story of WaFD Bank and maybe some of the different states that it serves and how many communities.
Absolutely. I sure wish, Paul, I know you've seen our first 100-year video. I wished I were able to play that for everyone. And it just gives such a unique story, and it's written in such a fashion that really warms your heart. So WaFD Bank started in 1917 in Ballard, Washington, originally as by the Keene family, originally as a savings and loan, and stayed true all these many years later as a traditional savings and loan bank. So it's amazing. They started in a small fishing community and just really helped the residents there gain home ownership. And that truly embodies what WaFD does. Is we're big, like we're big enough to do what big banks do, but small enough to be absolutely client and community oriented. And home ownership is so important. It's one of the largest decisions anyone will make in their life. And I feel like we do that and we do it well. So commercial, residential, and then of course we are a full service bank as far as business banking. Love our businesses, and also personal checking and savings. But we don't necessarily dabble in the consumer aspect of like auto lending or things like that. We keep true to our grassroots and have really perfected homeownership for our community.
I love what you mentioned about this 100-year video. There was a part of the video, it's like 9 minutes long.
Yes.
Which I'll put the website on and people can watch that later to really look at it. But there was one part in it that really rang out to me. And it was a story of one of the founders who had kept a letter from one of their clients. And after he had retired from the bank or the board of directors, he actually, and after he had passed on, his wife had brought that letter from that customer back.
Yes.
So I think just those simple things, what you said about community and grassroots, that's really what it's all about.
I love that that story, and it is so true. I feel like what makes us unique, and every single branch, and I'm positive that every single, from the branch manager to the assistant manager to all of its employees, we're there with you day one when you put on a home loan application, and we keep and retain and service all of our loans. So we're a portfolio lender. We don't sell our loans. You'll never get that funny little letter in the mail that says, hey, next month, make your check out too, as we keep them and we service them. But what's amazing is you get to work with us from the beginning and beyond. We want you to pay off your home. We want you to have your home ownership. Of course, buy and sell as you please, but we're there for servicing of your loan from start to finish. And you can call and work with the branch manager directly, or you can work with any of our employees that are versed in that. So we make sure that we are with you. We know how stressful it can be, and we want to alleviate those stressors. The same thing that goes for all of our banking, like business banking. We want you to succeed, personal banking, savings. You can come into any one of our branches and sit down and get personalized service, or you can call our branches directly, and we're there, like I said, from the beginning to beyond.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. The fact that you don't sell your loans, I think that just says a lot about the bank.
Oh.
So spawned in Washington, how many states are you covered?
8 states. So I always say like the Pacific Northwest on down to Texas. So we serve 8 states, and we have 218 branches across the 8 states. So as I mentioned, we're pretty big, but yet, regional, pretty small to really be a full service to you as the client.
Right.
So
how many branches, Adrienne, how many branches are there in our region, or maybe just the state of Idaho?
22. There's 22 branches in the state of Idaho. So we're basically from top to bottom. So okay. and side to side. So yeah. So when you're traveling, you can come on through and see us anywhere.
So you're a large employer as well in the region.
Yeah, absolutely. We're a large employer. Not only are we a large employer, but I must say that we are an employer that absolutely supports the growth and development of all of our employees. I think that's what makes us so special to work with, is that when you come in, we're happy to be here. We don't have to go to work. We get to go to work because we get to work for one of the best banks. Little plug for the bank, voted best bank by Newsweek. Newsweek 3 years in a row, and Money.com. So we empower our employees. We have such a wonderful educational program where if they want to seek education, we get up to $5,000 per employee to further our educations. So we want to make sure, and that education does not have to necessarily be in financial background. We want to make sure that we empower them personally so that when they come to work, they are fulfilled. Their cup is full and they want to be here.
Okay, Adrienne, you talked a little bit about how WaFd invests in their community. Why don't you get us up to speed on some of that tangible evidence? And you had just mentioned a check just today, but maybe just give us the 30,000 foot view of here just in Treasure Valley.
Yes, I am so proud to be part of WaFd. You can go online to WaFd and we have what's called corporate giving, and people can apply for grants. And if you're chosen, then, from 1,000 to 5,000, I believe we're committed to doing $1 million each year in community grants that basically encompass housing and community development, senior citizens and youth family, low income, financial literacy. I know that United Way just received a check. There's an amazing picture of Tom V up on LinkedIn. I believe the United Way posted that. One of my favorites is when we get to bring checks to WCA or Jesse Tree. It is just amazing to work for such a company that not only embodies the financial part of the giving, but encourages its employees to be involved in so much community service as well. So we encourage to get out and do community service and teach. We have awesome financial literacy programs. I'm working with an organization here in town once a month called One Refugee, where I teach financial literacy to a group of refugees that are working with One Refugee. And we are just a part of so much in the community.
The social posts that I see coming from you and your team are, hands-on at the Idaho Food Bank, volunteering in places like the WCA. I see it. And so, we talk about investments and writing a check, but you exude that in your volunteerism as well. And I think that's important.
Well, I think it's extremely important because there's more than just money. They need a plethora of people. We've been volunteering at the food bank, my team and I, and all of, branch managers, other team members have been coming along. And I believe it was 2 months ago, we boxed 421 boxes of food for seniors here locally. But the most amazing part of it is that they shared with us that had they not had us, it would have been something like 19 hours that they would have had to pay an employee to box that food. But if you think about it, they're nonprofit, right? So, and we need more community service to be able to help those. So
I'm going to put your website and scroll it on the bottom of the screen. You mentioned that organizations can submit their
application,
submit their application for partnership. And I want people to take a look at that. Also, I'd love for folks that are curious to look at that 100-year video. It's on that website. And it's a really good video. It was really well done, and it spoke to me as well. Hey, while I have you for a couple more minutes, Adrienne, tell us any upcoming events that we should be aware of that WaFd's a part of.
Absolutely. Thank you for asking. So right now I'm a drop-off location for the Boise Rescue Mission for their food drive. And I want to make it as easy for everybody. Please look me up on LinkedIn. You can see a needs list that the Boise Rescue Mission needs. I'll make it easy. Come through our drive-through and stuff your cans in there. We'll get them out for you. Nothing large, but I want to make it as easy as possible to support them. We'll also be a book drop-off for United Way for their book drive. More to come on my LinkedIn about that. And then as well, what else is amazing that WaFd sponsored I recently had the pleasure of being able to charter a Toastmasters organization or club, and WaFD Bank did sponsor that. So it totally embodies growth and development and better speech, to be able to articulate better, and all that information anybody can find on my LinkedIn, ways to join WaFD and growth and development.
Adrienne, I want to personally thank you for your volunteerism, your leadership here with the Chamber, your investment in your community. And every time I'm around you, I just get energized.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Paul.
Yeah. Hey, I look forward to seeing you again really soon. I'll see you at After Hours next week, next Thursday,
Yes.
February 23rd,
yes.
at our friend Heather Chandler's New Life office. We're exhibiting trade shows. If anybody wants to come out, February 23rd, 5 to 7 p.m. at the New Life office over on Victory and Cole. Adrienne, thank you so much for all of your time and sharing the WaFD Bank story with me today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Paul. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.